whispers of truth, to live a conscious life, to live a conscious life on the growing edge, on the growing edge.
Namaste. So glad that you're here, Ali Benjamin and Growing Edge Live Satya Sunday broadcast. This is your spiritual tune in and tune up, and we are so excited to share some spiritual principles and practices that will support you in living a life of peace and meaning and fullness and love as never before. So why don't we start with a little meditation? So if you will, close your outer eyes and open the inner eye, that spiritual eye that sees beyond all the pain and the suffering, all the fear and the doubt, and sees only love. And as you open your heart and you enter into this now moment, let's breathe together. Take a deep inhalation, exhaling. And as you arrive and settle in this moment, let us become aware that only love is real. Love is infinite, eternal, and let's let that idea blossom inside us, that only love is real. Love is infinite and eternal. See it and hear it and feel it. Know that you are love. Take a deep breath of love in now. And exhale love. And as you allow your breath to find its natural rhythm, be centered in love. Become open and receptive to letting love in and being the presence of love in your world. Just try it out and see what miracles occur. Another deep breath, settling, relaxing, arriving, and gently open your eyes. So welcome back. Today my topic is miracles. I'm going to be talking about miracles, maybe not from the same perspective that you've thought about miracles. As I looked it up in the dictionary, the definition of miracles, it's a surprising and welcoming event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws and is therefore considered to be the work of a divine agency. So a lot of us think of miracles as something assigned to spiritual dimensions, that something out of the normal, something paranormal, above the normal reality that we live, move, and have our being in. A miracle is something that doesn't happen every day. That's what the dictionary says, but I'm going to challenge that. A supernatural phenomenon, a mystery, a prodigy, or a sign. That's another way of looking at a miracle. A highly improbable or extraordinary event, development, or accomplishment that brings very welcome consequences. So miracles are good. It was a miracle that more people hadn't been killed or injured. That was an example, not a great one. An amazing product or achievement or an outstanding example of something. So that's the mainstream definition of miracle. But today I want to explore what other people and other philosophies say about miracles. And of course, I have an acronym for you that is based on the word miracle, so I'll be sharing that too. Marianne Williamson, who's an amazing spiritual leader, she has been one of the trailblazers with bringing A Course in Miracles to life around the world, says this: a miracle is a shift in perception from fear to love, from a belief in what is not real to faith in that which is. That shift in perception changes everything. So this is the kind of the core premise of A Course in Miracles, that wonderful course that 365 days a student can walk through, deepen into with the daily lessons. It's really quite phenomenal. And tomorrow, if you're online, you can catch me and my friend John Moore, who is a Course in Miracles teacher and coach, talk even more about it. But today, I'm going to be sort of combining some of my teachings, the things that I've been exploring through the science of mind and metaphysics, and bringing my spin on this Course in Miracles idea of what a miracle is. It's a shift in perception from fear to love. I'd like to say it's a shift in consciousness, because as we wake up, as we start to do inner work, as we start to ask ourselves the question, who am I? We ask ourselves, what is life? Why are we here? We start to kind of peel back the layers of what's real and what's not, what's made up, what's our conditioning, what we've been taught by the world of form, versus what we know at the very heart, our true wisdom, our true knowledge, our omniscience, omnipotence, and our omnipresence, our absolute wisdom, our absolute power, and our oneness, our connection, our omnipresence, that we're connected to everything else. And so in my studies through a science of mind, this is what we're taught. We're taught that we're three in nature. We're body, mind, and spirit. This physical body that we have and this physical universe that we're a part of is just a little bit of what we are as a whole. We're also wisdom or intelligence. So we're body, we're mind, but then we're something more. We're the ineffable. It's hard to really describe it or label it, but I'll try, as I usually do. So we're body, mind, and spirit. A Course in Miracles and the teachings of A Course in Miracles about miracles and about this shift in perception have us awaken to the fact that the one ongoing, permanent, trustworthy, reliable reality with a capital R is this aspect of us, this higher self, this ineffable, nameless, undescribable aspect of who we are. And this is what, in biblical terms, is our Christ consciousness. It's what Jesus, the master teacher, taught us. He became the Christed one because he had revelations. He woke up in the midst of a human life. He had access to the higher mind, the God self, the Godhead, the Christed consciousness. And he said, greater things ye shall do. Why? Because we're all made equal in the image and likeness of the creative force of the universe. Some call it God. And so as we wake up, as we begin to put higher value on that spiritual part of our personality, spiritual aspect of our being, and less importance on the mind and the body. Remember, we're three in nature, body, mind, and spirit. But what we exist within, what the mind and the body exist within, is the Spirit, the ineffable. And this is what A Course in Miracles is attempting to have us awaken to. So we're not so concerned with the physical, what's showing up in our lives. We're not taking things personally, how people act and behave. We're not feeling victimized by our lack or our fear or whatever traumas have happened to us in the past. We're seeing that for what it is. It's all in the past. And the only meaning that the world of phenomena has or had or will have is that which you, me, we give it. So our ego, this part of us, that's part of the mind, has a greater control over most people in their lives. They're more attached to their thoughts and their bodies than they are to their higher self, their spiritual self, the miraculous self, the true self. And so all great spiritual teachings are helping us to wake up and let us know that we're more than the mind, we're more than the body, we're that which has a mind, we're that which has a body. And when we can remember this in our everyday life, we then have access to see life for the miracle that it truly is, where we see only love. Now that's a big stretch, and I'm sure some of you are saying, yeah, but what about the war in the Ukraine? What about children that are born with terminal illness? What about people being victimized, murdered, and such? Yes, these atrocities happen. This is unfortunately what this world of form is going to expose us to. There is suffering, as Buddhism as the Buddhist teachings have told us. This world of phenomena is about the highs and the lows, the ups and the downs, the yin and the yang. It's about suffering. But when we wake up to this more miraculous state of mind, when we shift our perception from fear due to the focus on the physical and the mental plane, but we rise up and we occupy our higher self, we're able to see the world of cause and effect. And we can see bad things do happen. But we don't heal what is wrong or what we're perceiving as wrong in the world at the same level of consciousness that created it. This is the teachings of Albert Einstein. We have to shift our consciousness in order to shift our reality, because this is the crux of understanding how to be a conscious co-creator and see through the eyes of love and experience the universe as being for us and being so centered and focused in the now moment that you're occupying a place of love. Why? Why do we want to occupy a place of love in the midst of things not happening the way we wish they would, or terrible things happening in the world? Because everything is energy, and everything as energy is vibrating. It is corresponding to like frequencies. So it's our job as energetic beings to exist in a vibration, a frequency of love. Why? Because love is the most powerful frequency vibration in the universe. And when we're thinking loving thoughts, when we're feeling love towards others, when we're not arguing with reality, meaning wishing things were different, but we're maintaining a frequency of unconditional love and complete acceptance, then we're in our highest state. Then we're a conscious co-creator. We then can organize our thoughts and our actions around this central theme of being the presence of love that will shift things in the field. It will shift things in your life. it will shift the things that aren't going the way you wished in the world. But we have to prove this to ourselves. So we have to try it on. So all week long, I want you to shift your perception from that of being connected to the outside world and taking all of that in and somehow assigning some negative meaning to it, or feeling victimized by it, or feeling that it's not the way you wish it would be, to shifting the perspective of things are just as they are. I don't need to worry about this. I don't need to do anything about it out there in the world other than maintain a frequency of unconditional love, compassion, and acceptance for what is. And then if I hold that frequency, I start to organize my thoughts and my actions in alignment with what I truly want to experience. Right relationships, constant availability of creativity and positive thinking. As I start to align my frequency with what I want to experience, as I start to align my frequency with my awakened sense of self, my Christed consciousness, then that ongoing maintaining the energy of love, of compassion, of empathy, of serving humanity, of bringing your light to life, that starts to shift everything else in the field. Why? Because we're all connected. All of life is connected. And so miracles, this is from A Course in Miracles. Miracles arise from a miraculous state of mind, or a state of miracle readiness. So we get ready for a miracle. We shift our mind by not assigning a lot of negative meanings to things, but simply sitting with what is and maintaining the frequency of love, seeing through the eyes of love. And when we do this, we start to remove the blocks, remove the illusions that are keeping us from expressing love's presence, because that's what you are. That's what we are. We are love personified. And when we start to remove those mental barriers, those mindsets, those heart sets that keep us feeling separate, when we start to dissolve those, let them go, we start to live in this amazing place of being love's presence. Miracles restore the mind to its fullness. So we get access to the full dimension of our mind. Our mind is a miraculous tool that once we master, then we can utilize this amazing mind of ours to organize our thoughts, to help us take inspired action in the world, because that's what truly our life's purpose is to awaken and to be love's presence and live in service of love, of light, and of beauty. And so let's make sure that rather than thinking of miracles as something unusual, let's start to shift our perspective. And when good things happen, when miracles occur, let's start to see them as usuals. Maybe you say to yourself, how usual? And that thing that we used to call miraculous somehow becomes ordinary, normal, every day. Why? Because we've shifted our perspective. We can see that everything is happening for us. We can see that rather than thinking things are difficult, what if they're easy? Our whole mindset changes. We become a different person. This is what the gurus, the mystics, the yogis have been teaching us for decades, for centuries. We can have a shift in consciousness. We can awaken that light within us. We can hear the still small voice of God if we start to pay less attention to the ego's chatter and less attention to the world of form, and we simply trust that everything is unfolding, everything is manifesting just at the right and perfect pace. There's a divine unfoldment occurring, and we are a cooperative component of that. Miracles reawaken the awareness that the spirit, not the body, is the altar of truth. This is the recognition that leads to the healing power of the miracle. We get to live in a realm of miracles that said it is the spirit within me that does the work. That's what does the healing, when we align with that part of us, that ineffable, that invisible force for good and love. And we stop trying to make things happen, force a healing to happen, but we trust the body knows how. Why? Because there's omniscience, omnipotence, omnipresence. There's all wisdom, all power, all presence. That's what we are. That's what we're a part of. We start to trust that, and then miracles unfold and they become ordinaries. So I've created an acronym for the word miracles. Mind, inner, reactions allow consciousness and love to evolve. So that's mind, inner, reactions. So as you're going about your week, as you're going about your conversations, as you're going about your work, whatever you're doing, mind, inner, reactions. You notice someone says something. Maybe it's a person that rubs you the wrong way and they say something, and you just pause and you just feel it. What's my inner reaction here? I can feel something that doesn't feel so good. It could be a triggering. Yeah, it's triggering me to be really up in my head, to start placing my opinions and start feeling a sort of a kind of a uncomfortable feeling in my body. I'm having this inner physical and mental reaction to what just happened, what that person just said. So I'm going to be watching my inner reactions. Or maybe you watch a TV show and you watch the news and it's something terrifying and you start to feel an inner reaction. So this is the point when we're talking about miracles and spiritual awakening. This is the point that we pause and we begin to, instead of just unconsciously moving through that reactive state, we start to respond differently. We start to occupy the presence of love. Instead of reacting with angry words, with being, having sort of maybe an indifference, or start acting from a place of fear, or saying something negative, or withdrawing. Whatever it is that you have a tendency, maybe it's a habitual way that you react in the face of something difficult, scary, negative, or fearful. Just notice your inner reaction. So mind, inner reactions. And then this is kind of the prescription. Allow consciousness and love to evolve. Allow consciousness and love to evolve. So it's once we have something occur in our life that triggers us to have an uncomfortable reaction, we pause, we stop, we center ourselves as love's presence, and then we just experience an evolution of love and consciousness. We start to lessen that reactive part of our personality, and we begin to respond from that higher self, that higher place of love, compassion. So try it this week. Miracles stand for mind, inner reactions, allow consciousness consciousness and love to evolve. So there's my little download, upload for you this week. I hope that this has helped. If this message has supported you and you would like to see more of these recordings, you can go to Satya Center on YouTube and see them there. Or you can jump on over to Satya Center on Facebook or Instagram and connect with us there. And just please know how precious you are, that you are a miracle, just as you are. There's nothing wrong with you. You're perfect, whole, complete, as you are. You are love in evolution. You're becoming more and more of who you truly are. I see it. I know it. And if you'd like support, if you would love to work with a prayer practitioner, we have a team of them that are just ready and willing and available to you. Just DM me, go to Satya Center, go to growingedgelive.com, and you can connect with us there. And if you'd like to make a financial donation, we are a nonprofit, and you can go to Venmo, Satya Center, or to our website, growingedgelive.com. So peace and blessings. I trust and know that all beings without exception benefit from the words, from the prayers, from the well wishes and the conversations, the thoughts that have unfolded here today. May we all live in strength. May we all be strong and safe and happy and healthy. And may we all live and love with ease. May we all open our hearts to see through the eyes of love, to bring our service, our light, our love to the world in miraculous ways, because this is why we're here. Peace and blessings, lots of love. Mwah. Namaste. Bye-bye.